we have anyone signed up? All right. Then we will go on to the approval of minutes. We've received the minutes from the June 17th regular and executive session meetings. Any further discussion regarding the minutes? If not, do we have a motion to accept?
Make a motion, we accept the minutes as presented.
Second.
And the vote, please.
Mr. Archibald,
Yes.
Mr. Beard,
Yes.
Mr. Caswell,
Yes.
Mrs. Maggart,
Yes.
Mr. Poor,
Aye.
Mr. Ridenhour,
Yes.
Yes. Motion carries 7-0. Approval of claims. Any questions, comments regarding the claims? If not, do we have a motion?
I make a motion, we go ahead and approve the claims as presented.
I'll second. And the vote, please.
Mr. Archibald,
Yes.
Mr. Beard,
Yes.
Mr. Caswell,
Yes.
Mrs. Maggart,
Yes.
Mr. Poor,
Aye.
Mr. Ridenhour,
Yes.
Mr. Sturry.
Yes. Thank you. Motion carries 7-0. Personnel considerations. Dr. Wiedenover.
Board, good evening. In your packet, you do have personnel considerations for this evening. So we do have some resignations, terminations, appointments, and reassignments. So the lists are getting shorter and shorter as we get closer to school, which is a great thing. So with that, I ask that you approve these as presented.
Do we have a motion?
Make a motion, we approve the personnel considerations.
I'll second that.
And the vote, please.
Mr. Archibald,
Yes.
Mr. Beard,
Yes.
Mr. Caswell,
Yes.
Mrs. Maggart,
Yes.
Mr.
Aye.
Mr. Ridenhour,
Yes.
Mr. Sturry.
Yes. All right, motion carries. Thank you. Special report, budget adoption timeline. Dr. Penrod.
So our budget adoption timeline kind of looks real similar to last year. So we'll do an August, kind of a high-level budget overview. So we'll call that budget workshop, just like we have in the past. From August then to September, we'll continue to complete and fine-tune the budget. In September, or late August, early September, we'll advertise for the hearing. The hearing then for capital projects, bus replacement, and the budget will take place at the September meeting. And then after that, we kind of wait basically until the October meeting. At the October meeting, we'll ask you to adopt the 2026 budget, 26 through 28 capital projects plan, and 26 through 30 bus replacement plan. In addition to 3 other resolutions, one with the opportunity to transfer money similar to this year, which we're not doing, but we'd like to pass this resolution in case, from the education fund to the operations fund. One, to transfer appropriation within a fund. So if a salary line or any line within a fund is overspent, another one's underspent, it would allow that appropriation to change, leaving the bottom appropriation the same, the total appropriation the same. And then finally, the resolution that allows the school to modify what's called line 1, line 2, or line 16. And so line 1 is the 2026 budget. Line 2 is the remaining 2025 appropriations, so whatever's left from July 1 to December 31. And then line 16, which is a little confusing because it's actually line 18 now, is the cash balance on December 31 of 2026. And so and the reason we have to ask for that is because we have 10 days once the state looks at our budget. The state does our budget, kind of returns, they work the budget, they call it, returns that to us with any changes, and then we have 10 days to modify that. And so that rarely, if ever, lines up with a board meeting, usually lines up with winter break, actually. So we end up working on that over winter break, and that allows us to hit levies we want to hit, tax rates we want to hit, budgets we want to hit by adjusting that, like I said, that line 1, line 2, or line 16/18. And so real similar to last year, we'll get more explanation, way more in detail at the next 2 meetings, the August meeting and the September meeting. But for now, just kind of wanted to lay that out there just to kind of let you know what's to expect over the next, I guess, 5 months, really. So be glad to answer any questions.
Go ahead and do the bus
Yeah, correct, you're right. That's, so we do the bus appropriations. The way buses are right now, they're a little strange. Sometimes they're out 16, 18 months anyway. So if we ordered one today, it may not be here for a year and a half. There's some vendors that are doing like, you know, I got one in on trade if you want to do that. I mean, it's really spotty as far as availability goes. But they don't guarantee the price a lot of times. I've been part of a deal where we had a PO issued, and then they came back later and said, your buses are in, but now instead of being 100 and whatever, 130, they're now up to 145. So you can either take all of them, take less, or take none, but that's how much they are now. So, yeah, there's no real damages, because they give you the option to take less or none. But yeah, it's a pretty tight market on the bus thing. The other thing with buses right now, they do come out of the operations fund, and so schools in general will have to kind of watch that a little bit, because the operations fund is, as you know, somewhat impacted by Senate Enrolled Act 1 next year, but the following year will get pretty ugly in 27, 28 will be pretty bad, and then 29, 30, 31 are predicted to be, you know, kind of the worst of the worst in the operations fund. And so, yeah, I think buses are allowed to go 12 years without being inspected twice, and I wouldn't be surprised to start seeing buses be pushed out past that 12 years even further. And as long as they're inspected twice, they can do that. Any other questions? Good.
All right, thank you. All right, no old business. Board discussion informational items. We have Dr. Ray Lou, Staff Technology Acceptable Use Policy 4261.
Yeah, Board, in your packet, you have an updated acceptable use policy. All of the changes to that policy are highlighted in yellow, as we normally do. And you'll notice that this is a new kind of area for technology, dealing with anything that's AI generated. That could be a deep fake, or that could be a misrepresentation. Obviously, we don't want that happening in our school system, and we don't want people misusing that. So we've included that kind of, and it's coming in state law that this will be required. We're kind of getting an early jump on it to make sure that we're preventing issues from coming up by having that in our policy. So I'm asking your just review of that policy, and next month we'll bring that to you for your approval. Any questions?
Next would be the Sexual Harassment Policy 4118, first reading. Dr. Ray Lou?
Yeah, so to keep the policies aligned, we have added a definition to our sexual harassment policy about manipulated imagery created with AI editing tools, creating, you know, hostile environments. We certainly don't want to see that happen, and want to make sure that we have policies to address what unfortunately is looming out there in the world. So again, want you to take a look at that policy, and let me know if there's anything that you want to see updated there, if you have questions, and then we'll bring that back for your approval next month.
Thank you. Let's see, Mr. Wagner, Transportation Handbook. This will be our third reading.
Hear me okay? Yeah. Just wanted to make sure. A little close to you, Mark. This is just more informative. If you recall, back in June, we finalized the classified handbook. Well, to match the literature with the change of the weather-related days to PTO, we want to do the same thing in the transportation handbook. Our transportation drivers and personnel fall under that classified handbook, but we wanted the language to match as well. So what you'll see is the 3 weather-related days are now becoming, or saying 3 PTO days, just like it does in the classified. So I just wanted to inform you of that update or change. Any questions?
Do we have a motion?
I make a motion that we go ahead and accept the transportation handbook with the changes presented.
I'll second.
And the vote, please.
Mr. Archibald?
Yes.
Mr. Beard?
Yes.
Mr. Caswell,
Yes.
Mrs. Maggart,
Yes.
Mr.
Aye.
Mr. Ridenhour,
Yes.
Mr. Sturry.
Yes.
When you get a chance, check page 3 on the table of contents. Under personal leave, looks like there's an error on the typing or something. That is correct? That's supposed to be that way?
All right, new business. Consider a resolution preliminary approving the sixth supplemental contract for lease of public hearing and issuance of bond and related matters. Dr. Penrod.
I'm going to go over the slides for the potential impact of the potential bond. And then Ms. Crandall from Barnes and Thornburg is going to go over the actual resolutions for the legal resolutions for the bond. So we've seen this format before, and these are, of course, Baker Tilly's slides as a financial advisor, the municipal advisor. And as we move through here, this first slide. That's all right. Okay, so this is our, wait.
Oh, there is. There we go.
All right, here we go. So this is our existing debt service schedule, lease rental payment schedule. So we see in '25, we have this amount of money that we're going to pay out for the debt service that we've issued. And so this is all currently, as we said, existing. This is what's currently being paid, or revenue, the levy generating from our 0.5632 tax rate, which is obviously very low. And so these are coded. You can see each of these 9 bond issues go into this to make that particular payment. And then you can see it drops down in 26, 27, 29, 30, drops again in 31 and 32, and then 33, 34, 35, another drop. So keep that in mind as we go to the next slide, and we'll see the same information just in numerical form. Sorry, this one is the capacity for GO. And so the general obligation by law, Indiana schools are allowed to be in debt 1/3 of 2% of their AV. So if our net assessed valuation up here is $2,009 million, divided by 3, then we have 669, almost 670 million. 2% of that then is the 13.3 or almost 13.4. So currently we have outstanding debt only on the general obligation side at $10,455,000. We will make a payment here in December, before long, and that'll decrease the outstanding, increase the capacity, but currently the capacity is $2,944,604. I also want to point out the gross assessed value there at $2.8 billion, all the way down to the net assessed value at just over $2 billion. And what that difference is the amount of either deductions, circuit breaker credits, and other deductions that people get. This will change a little bit. This will change quite a bit in Senate Enrolled Act 1, effective 2026. But for now, that $831 million difference is the credits and deductions that people receive on their homestead or their business. So we go to the next one. And this is the summary of proposed financings. We've got the maximum borrowing amount at $6,600,000. So cost of issuance then would be, we're estimating about $185,000, leaving $6.4 million available for project. And then you can see the assumed repayment term. The A and B are 6 years, 2 months. Scenario C is 12 years, 2 months. And we've got total interest expense, the lowest in scenario B. Our certified debt service levy for this year for 2025, $4,687,000. So our estimated increase of the levy at $2,192,000. So our certified tax rate right now, I said 5632 is our tax rate for total, right, for the operations and debt service. For just debt service, it's 0.2332. And then this particular issue, if we do these, or we do one of these, it's not all 3, it's one of these, would add this particular rate estimated to the current 2332 and get either 3112, 3423, or 3082. And then that's just, as you know, part of the equation when it comes to the entire tax rate. The operations fund comes in on top of that then. This paragraph here, we've got information about Senate Enrolled Act 1. And so the purpose of that, as we've talked about before, property tax relief for homeowners and what you call 2% property. So that would be like the ag land and the business side of things. And then the 30% floor increases the exemption threshold for business personal property, eliminates the 30% floor. So if we had 30% on the business personal property that people would be the lowest deduction they could get, now it's going to go all the way down. You can keep depreciating that down to zero, further than 30%. So at any rate, so that's how those three scenarios kind of break down. We don't necessarily need to decide that tonight, but that's how the structure of that will be paid back if we choose to go forward with any kind of bond issue this time. So now we've got the existing and the proposed. So if you look at the gray is what we showed you on that first slide that was all color-coded at the time, with the 9 bond issues. Those 9 bond issues are now just gray because they're all current, they're existing. And then the light blue here would be the proposed $6.6 million first mortgage bonds. And so first mortgage bonds would be issued if we do this because, like we said, we are, this would put us above capacity on the GO side, so we do first mortgage bonds. And then we layer that back on here, make those payments, they'd be a little higher here. We've got some cash to use as well, but that would, like we said, increase levy. And then this drops back down on in 2028. That's scenario A, by the way. In scenario B on the next slide, we have the same information we saw on that graph up there in the right corner, 6.6 million, 6 years, 2 months on the repayment. Still a little bit of a jump here in 26, 27, 28, 29, 30 levels off, then it continues to drop back down again. The debt service fund levy then would be this dotted line, and so these are the payments, that's the levy. And you can see that kind of generally follows where the payments are because we're taking money in and then spending it out. However, if this is above, that means we've got some cash to spend too, or we can use some cash to spend that down. So you see in most of these cases, there's a little bit of cash being spent too. And then scenario C finally is a little bit longer, a lot longer repayment, 12 years and 2 months, which means more interest expense, but the same kind of pattern, just goes out to 2037 now instead. So finally then on the next slide, this is kind of what this would look like for maybe, I don't know if I'd say typical, but certain taxpayers. If you have a gross assessed value at $100,000 of your home, we've got 2 here is the median home value, and then you just kind of fit where your home would fit. There's your $100,000 of non-homestead residential and long-term, then commercial. So that's the 2% property, you might call it, and then that's the 3% property. An acre of land in agriculture, we don't set that. That's not something that's set locally. That's set by some formula at the state, and then they just tell us what an acre of land is. So anytime we see an acre of land that decreases in assessed value, somewhere that tax gets pushed, and so it might get pushed to the 1% properties, the 2% properties. So in this case, so we've got $100,000 gross. Your net assessed value goes all the way down to 31.2 by the time you get homestead exemptions or deductions, and then supplemental deductions. And then by the time, like we talked about before, by the time 2031 hits, the exemption goes away and the supplemental takes over as the only exemption. And that's going to be, by 2031, that'll be about 67, about 2/3, 67%. So anyway, you can see this is what you're actually taxed on. So on the levy impact for the median household, you're looking at $79.75, $111, or $76.68 for the year for the median household. So you're talking $76 divided by 12, $79 divided by 12, and then 111. So anyway, then you can just kind of see wherever your particular piece of property or your interest lies, you can see where that lies on this chart as well. And then I believe finally the next slide just is going to show this again. Like I said, this is Baker Tilly. I told them they didn't need to drive 2 2.5, 3 hours to do a 5-minute presentation, but this is who put this together. So be glad to answer any questions, but that, again, is kind of typical of what we've seen in the past, and typical of what bond issues look like, just different updated data for current data.
And I'm Stephanie Crandall with Barnes and Thornburg. The resolution before you really just goes over the high part of the 6.6. As Dr. said, you don't have to make the decision right now on the structure. What you're actually just approving is the financial parameters and the project on a preliminary basis, and you'll be having a public hearing at your next meeting in August. So happy to answer any questions about the resolution. Yes.
Do we have a motion on the resolution?
I make a motion that we pass the resolution.
I'll second.
And the vote, please?
Mr. Archibald,
Yes.
Mr. Beard,
Yes.
Mr. Caswell,
Yes.
Mrs. Maggart,
Yes.
Mr. Poor,
Aye.
Mr. Ridenhour,
Yes.
Mr. Sturry.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion carries 7-0. Next would be Dr. Wiedenhofer, the Joint Services Agreement.
Board, in your packet, you do have tonight the joint services agreement with our special ed co-op. We are one of 13 schools that participate that. A lot of our neighbors do that. It is a co-op where we share services for a lot of our special education students. We bring this to you every year for approval. One of the biggest changes is instead of having 14 schools, it's down to 13 this year as East Noble is kind of pulled out. But we do bring that to you for your approval tonight.
Do we have a motion?
Financially, with East Noble pulling out, what's that do to us?
That increases our cost slightly. So not only does that increase our cost for us, but it increases it for the 13 or the 12 other folks that are still in there. Things are going to get interesting just with the budget cuts that are happening at all the schools, especially in the operations. We have kind of looked at it in different ways. I know Dr. Penrod has run those numbers. It would be quite difficult for us to find all the staffing if we had to go it alone and just be an independent group. And then trying to find all the people that you need to be able to provide all the services that we have to do would be quite difficult.
Will East Noble still be able to gain services through the co-op?
They will not. So what they have kind of said is that they're going to go it alone, that they feel like they can provide all the adequate staffing and be able to compliant with all of their IEPs on a legit basis. So, and they feel like they can do it cheaper than staying in the co-op. So we shall see. What I will tell you, if you go back and look at history, East Noble has left one time other before, went it, but ultimately came back. I would probably venture to say that they will be back sometime in the future, if I had to guess.
Any other questions, comments? Do we have a motion?
I'll second that.
And the vote, please?
Mr. Archibald,
Yes.
Mr. Beard,
Yes.
Mr. Caswell,
Yes.
Mrs. Maggart,
Yes.
Mr. Poor,
Aye.
Mr. Ridenhour,
Yes.
Mr. Sturry.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion carries 7-0. Next up would be the Interact Club and annual stipend donation. Dr. Relu.
Board, the Rotary Club of Angola is interested in serving youth in our community, and as a result, would love to start an Interact Club. They have identified someone who is a Rotary member who's willing to serve as the club sponsor, who works at the high school, because both of those things have to be at play in order for this to work. So Benny Clark has agreed to be the sponsor of the Interact Club. It's an arm of the Rotary Club of Angola and is supported by them. In this case, with the financial donation to pay the stipend to Mr. Clark for overseeing that. but it is a self-supported organization that will work on community-based projects and leadership development. So we are asking your permission to accept that $1,000 donation annually until such time that we might decide that we no longer want to support the Interact Club.
Any questions? Do we have a motion?
I make a motion that we accept the stipend.
I'll second.
Vote, please.
Mr. Archibald,
Yes.
Mr. Beard,
Yes.
Mr. Caswell,
Yes.
Mrs. Maggart,
Yes.
Mr. Poor,
Aye.
Mr. Ridenhour,
Yes.
Mr. Sturry.
Yes.
Motion carries 7-0. Dr. Raylu, a paraprofessional waiver.
So Board, I believe this is the third time I am bringing to you a request for paraprofessional waiver. This is a waiver allowed by the federal government to increase flexibility in hiring our paraprofessionals. There is a federal requirement for highly qualified paraprofessionals. The waiver allows us to expand our qualifications for those employees. So the federal government requires a 2-year degree or equivalent college experience, a CDA, or passing the Parapro. Our local options would allow us to employ instructional assistants with 1,000 hours of experience, so people who have been working with us before, who have successful evaluations, or new employees who would then complete locally designated training. And the training sites are listed there in the memo to you. And then they also receive job-specific training on the programs that they're going to be using while they are working with our students. I do need board approval for us to apply for this waiver, so I'm requesting that from you this evening.
Any questions? If not, do we have a motion?
I make a motion, we accept the paraprofessional waiver.
I'll second.
And the vote, please.
Mr. Archibald,
Yes.
Mr. Beard,
Yes.
Mr. Caswell,
Yes.
Mrs. Maggart,
Yes.
Mr. Poor, Mr. Ridenhour,
Yes.
Mr. Sturry.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion carries 7-0. Textbook adoption, Dr. Raylu.
So Board, I have one last textbook adoption for you to approve. This is for our middle school health class. We do have a new instructor who will be taking over that class, and we wanted to make sure that that person had adequate resources that were current. Our last adoption cycle for health was more than 6 years ago, and the previous teacher had really kind of curated the resources for that. So we wanted to make sure that we had something that was well aligned with standards and easy for a new person to come in and implement. So this is a 6-year adoption, so that cost of $65.85. Every student will have access to the online resource for this course, and it's $65.85 total, but we have access to that for the 6 years. So it's a pretty good price on that.
All right. Do we have a motion?
I make a motion, we go ahead and accept the materials.
I'll second.
And the vote, please.
Mr. Archibald,
Yes.
Mr. Beard,
Yes.
Mr. Caswell,
Yes.
Mrs. Maggart,
Yes.
Mr. Poor,
Aye.
Mr. Ridenhour,
Yes.
Mr. Sturry.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion carries 7-0. Next would be the adjunct announcement, Dr. Raylu.
So Board, this is the third time I'm also bringing this request to you. We would like to announce the vacancy for our fire science adjunct teachers so that we can hire them back for the 25-26 school year. I'm also including here elementary music. We have an elementary music teacher who's been with us for 4 years. She's been on an emergency permit for 4 years. She had an extra year because of COVID. She has completed all of her coursework to do her transition to teaching in music, but has to get that praxis exam scheduled and pass that exam in order to get her license. Those are not offered with any kind of regular frequency. So there's a chance that we may be looking at starting the school year and her not having that license completed. And so we want to have the option to be able to adjunct her should we end up there come August. And then she'll move forward this year in completing that regular license. So requesting your permission to announce the vacancy for those positions.
Any questions?
The fire question, is that something we need to announce every year? Those guys, they aren't going to go back and get their teaching license or anything.
Sorry, yes, that's correct. So adjuncts have to be renewed annually by the board, but we will always bring that to you and have it approved in that fashion. Yes, we absolutely intend for it to be. We've got a fantastic team of teachers who teach that for us. Yes. We do. We have schools from Fremont, Prairie Heights, and Hamilton who join us for that.
Do we have a motion?
Make a motion, we approve?
I'll second that.
And the vote, please.
Mr. Archibald?
Yes.
Mr. Beard?
Yes.
Mr. Caswell?
Yes.
Mrs. Maggart?
Yes.
Mr. Poor?
Aye.
Mr. Ridenhour?
Yes.
Mr. Sturry?
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you. Last up, we have 26 meal pricing. Mrs. Parshall.
Good evening, Board. I am here to request approval for the 2025-2026 meal prices for our kiddos' student meals. We have not received reimbursement rates from the state yet, so with the uncertainty of what that kind of funding and reimbursement will look like, this is what I propose. I would like to keep meal prices the same as the last year. This would be our 4th consecutive year keeping it the same. But I would like to go back to charging our reduced students the 40 cents for their meals. Right now, that is about a $12,000 cut loss that we're taking to provide a free meal to those reduced students. So they would return to being charged 40 cents for lunch. They would remain getting breakfast for free. I can't justify raising all of the meal prices without going back and taking that 40 or charging that 40 cents for our reduced students. But I'm not sure also with the changes going on with the different government programs, what that will mean for our free and reduced families and who will be affected and might be coming off of benefits that they're currently receiving. So that's why I would like to keep meal prices the same.
Still pay cash anymore, do they?
If they bring cash, we don't give them like change back. It just goes into their account to use at a later time.
So if I were to go have lunch, if I find some kid, if I open as an account,
No, we do have adult accounts, and I would like to keep adult meals the same as well. But I'm also asking, like, kind of to reserve the right to, once we get the reimbursement rates, if I need to reevaluate this and bring you changes for meal prices in the future, that we would bring that back to board approval. But and we also are very lucky. We have a community that supports our students, and we do get various donations throughout the year to help with students who are in the negative balance. So although I can't depend on that, I am very hopeful that we would continue to receive those type of donations that might help any of the reduced students that might not even be able to afford that 40 cents, so.
If you have to raise it before the next board meeting, do you need approval that you can do that? I mean, we can do that?
We would have to request a special, like an emergency board meeting to do that, but I would like to start the year and see how this goes. I don't know when I'll get reimbursement rates, hopefully before school starts.
That's not saying you would need it, or, I mean, I'm sure your accounts are in great shape.
Yeah, I think we have,
You could make it to the next board meeting if you had to.
absolutely,
Yeah, and that's part of why she's, because of the uncertainty, I don't want to have to wait till the next board meeting. If she needs to move and switch things around, I want her to have the flexibility to do that, or that's what we're hoping that you'll give her, That way she can move in, not necessarily wait all the way to August to do some of those things. She's done a great job. She's been in a pickle probably the last month or so because we seem to be pivoting based on what the state and feds tell us from time to time. So today's little thing that we had to give you was waiting to the last minute to see if we did get those reimbursements or we didn't. So that's why we're trying to put a plan together right now.
So tonight, what I'm requesting is that student breakfast, K through 12, stay at $1.50. Elementary lunch stay at $2.40. Middle school lunches are tiered. That would be $2.55 or $3, depending on their choices. And high school lunch is also tiered, $2.75, $3, and $3.25. And that we do return to charging our reduced students 40 cents for lunch.
So when somebody gives you, like say, a donation to pay off a student, I guess, that counts, how do you look at whoever's in negative balances, pay those off where you can, or how that work?
Yeah, so unless it's specifically donated to a specific student or family or something like that, then we look at the students that have the greatest need and we just help them out.
They usually donate by school.
Yeah, it depends, but yes, typically it is per school.
Any other questions? If not, do we have a motion?
Make a motion to approve?
I'll second that.
And the vote, please.
Mr. Archibald,
Yes.
Mr. Beard,
Yes.
Mr. Caswell,
Yes.
Mrs. Maggart,
Yes.
Mr. Poor,
Aye.
Mr. Ridenhour,
Yes.
Mr. Sturry.
Yes. Thank you. Motion carries 7-0. Future meetings, unless otherwise noted, all meetings will be here in the McCutcheon Administration Center Boardroom at 6 PM. Our next will be August 19th, then September 16th, and October 21st. Superintendent's report.
Yeah, Board, we do have a few things. It is July 15th. We're halfway through July already. August 6th is right around the corner. So just to put things out, registration is coming around July 30th. That will be going on at our high school. We do have our class list posted on websites, and parents have been anxious already going through some of those. Dr. Relu has been busy looking at class sizes at each building and looking at what we need to do as far as moving staffing around if we need to. But it's been a good productive summer to kind of get us to where we are today right now. Just a reminder, if we have parents and students who want to participate in the upcoming sports season, those need to have physicals on file and some of those things. So we'd ask that you reach out to Mr. Lance or Mr. Boer at the high school and middle school respectively to get those things done. If you're around this weekend, we had our annual Balloons Aloft that we sponsored out at the high school. It was very well attended. It seems the weather was a little spotty, but for the most part, they were able to get balloons up. I got lots of nice compliments, and if you look at the pictures, our high school lot was pretty much full on Friday and Saturday. So it was great participation. We do have a pontoon boat that's out there kind of messing everything up right now, but we'll address that. Yes. Mr. Hiska, a huge shout out to our transportation department. You know it is bus inspection time. He is back on the winning ways. He did not like the 98% that he got last year on a light bulb. So back to 100% participation and got all of his buses around. So he is one of the two in the state, us and Northwest Allen, with 100%. So that is a big deal. So he wears that as a huge badge of courage. I did ask him if he had a thing of light bulbs, and he said, yes, I had to change 2 promptly, really quick before pulling in. So he is very excited about that. And then just a quick update, we are finishing up many of our construction projects that we have at our elementaries and our middle school and the high school. Lots of asphalt parking right now we've been able to get done. If you go to Ryan Park right now, you can't even get into that place because we're really chewing up that stuff. We have a junior high gym that is almost completely done, and some of the new carpet and painting in a lot of our buildings look really, really well. So I commend Mr. Wagner and his team of outside folks and inside folks, custodians who have been doing a fantastic job of getting everything caught up. So I feel very happy where our progress is moving forward. And then lastly, we appreciate you taking a look at the bond resolution and approving those monies moving forward. A lot of those will be used for our maintenance and to be able to have back for emergencies and so forth on those things. It is important that we get those done as those laws are rapidly changing from the legislature, and how we can apply for those funds and kind of get those funds moving forward. So we appreciate you moving forward with those and getting those things done. So that is all I have, Mr. President.
Thank you. Board member communication. Anyone have anything they'd like to? No? Besides need.
I'd give a shout out to the dental group that came in and worked with the ELC group, or the early learning group, and anybody else that they applied. I know we've used them at some of the schools throughout the year. So,
Mr. Wagner, do you remember who that?
All right, if there's nothing else before the board, do we have a motion to adjourn?
make a motion, we adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?